Hi, everyone. I wasn't quite prepared. Here we go. All right. Got it. Do you want to reduce your anxiety? I'm on here encouraging people to come and work with me. People women who struggle with anxiety and women who struggle with self-doubt. And one of the tips I want to offer today is that when we appreciate things, our anxiety can go down because we're actually we're getting out of our own little heads and we're appreciating something that's happening around us, either right in front of us, like a good meal or your pet, or maybe you appreciate some good news that you heard on the radio, or maybe you appreciate one of your children's something that they said, or a good grade they got, or maybe they scored a goal. You can appreciate just about anything. I'm appreciating this jacket that I'm wearing because I'm just a little chilly, so I wanted to put something on just to warm myself up a little bit. What you appreciates with an S. And that means that it generates more of the same. This is a physics principle, but I'm not a physicist and I'm not a scientist. And it's also part of the law of attraction, right? So in the law of attraction, for those of you who don't maybe remember or don't know, law of attraction is focus on what's going well and more stuff is going to go well. Appreciate certain things around you, and there'll be more stuff to appreciate. So this is just one little tip that I wanted to share with you. My name is Lydia Hill. I'm a rapid transformational therapy practitioner. So I practice RTT, and that was created by Marissa Peer. And Marissa Peer has had an over 30-year career in hypnotherapy. She is very successful, and in addition to being a speaker and a writer and a hypnotherapist, she's also a trainer and she's a teacher, and she teaches people like me to help people like you overcome any number of things. My particular niche right now is helping women overcome self-doubt and anxiety in as little as 3 weeks. So Marissa, I would encourage you to Google her. She has had a career that spans over 3 decades. She spends time in both Great Britain and in California. And she does these amazing trainings, and she also does professional development upgrades and travels around the world doing that as well. And what I do, my particular niche, is helping women eradicate and eliminate self-doubt and anxiety, although I can do anything else. It just is basically this principle of working with your subconscious. The subconscious is what drives our behavior. The subconscious is like a big well. It's like a big reservoir. And inside that reservoir are a whole bunch of beliefs that we believe not only about ourselves, but about the world at large. And so some of these beliefs might be, the world is a wonderful place. The world is rosy. The world is pink and rosy and wonderful. The world is a safe place. The world is a not safe place. I am not safe in the world, or I love this world. I love my place on the planet, and all is well. So it really just depends on you and your particular, hi Mimi, and your particular circumstances. Some of us grew up in households where things were really difficult, and we form beliefs based on those traumatic experiences, but we never, I see you, but we never think to question those beliefs when we grow up, because we don't realize that they might be limited. We don't realize that they might be negative beliefs. And so the work that we do, RTT practitioners, RTT therapists, are people who get to the root cause. We pull out those beliefs that are limiting. We pull out those beliefs that are negative, and we give you better beliefs. And we talk about that before the session. We talk about what it is that you want to accomplish. We talk about what it is that you want to achieve. So that's the work I do. I have something called the Eliminate Anxiety Lab. And inside the lab, we work together. You do your part and I do my part. And together, there's this chemistry that occurs. And, we put stuff in the metaphorical test tube, and it brews and bubbles, and out comes your transformation. So we do this work together in the lab. It's called the Eliminate Anxiety Lab, and it basically transforms you. What is your anxiety costing you? When you walk into a room and all you feel is anxious, you're unable to be there in the room with the, sorry, my cat is just a problem. With the people in the room, you're unable to be comfortable with yourself. You're unable to circulate. You're unable to chat. You're anxious. Or maybe you are chatting, but you're chatting in an anxious way. You're having conversations in an anxious way. What would happen if you entered a room and you felt comfortable, you felt calm, you even felt confident instead of anxious? What if you're unable to get out of the house? That really is costing you a lot. You're unable to really live your life if you're trapped in your home and you're not able to get out because you've got just way too many anxious feelings. What about your work performance? Are you anxious at work in such a way that it limits your ability to perform, that it limits your outcomes, that it limits your production? What about your relationships? Are you anxious in your relationships? Are you bringing a certain level of anxiety to your relationships? What about your primary relationship? Or maybe your anxiety is preventing you from even having a primary relationship. So what is all of this costing you? 2022 is coming up. This is the perfect opportunity to take hold of your life. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Because you've got the rest of your life. I mean, I am 61. I still have 25 good years left, right? How old are you? And how much time do you have left on the planet? I mean, ultimately, none of us really ever know. But now is the time to really take control of your life. What are you waiting for? Because you know what? No one's going to come. I thought this was so funny the first time I heard it. No one's coming to rescue you. No one's coming to rescue me. When I figured that out and I really internalized it right here, right here, no one is coming to rescue me. I need to do the work. I need to do the work to get out there in the world and do what it is that I love doing. And what I love doing is helping people get to the root cause of their problems. So therapy is wonderful and therapy is important. And I have had therapy myself. But to keep talking about what makes you anxious, to keep talking about your triggers, to keep talking and talking and talking and talking about your triggers isn't helping us to solve the problem. What we need to do is get to the root cause of those triggers that cause your anxiety, to get to the root cause of what's causing you to reach for a cigarette and smoke, the root cause of what's causing you to eat too much. What is the root cause? Usually this is an emotional situation. As I said before, coming from beliefs that we have formed when we were really, really young, right? Really young. And not really questioning our beliefs because that's all we knew at the time. That's all we knew. So you grow up in a household that was dysfunctional. Maybe you had one parent. Maybe you didn't have any parents. Maybe you had parents that fought. Maybe you had parents that drank a lot. I had parents who didn't really understand me. And so I really didn't feel seen. I was fed. I was clothed. I was given great education. I was given gifts at Christmas time. On the outside, it looked fine. But on the inside, I was just not seen. I wasn't understood. There was something that happened at my birth. And I think that really threw me off, So for many, many years, I was insecure. I didn't feel safe. And so my limiting belief was, it's not a safe place out there. I don't feel safe. Therefore, I can't step out. I feel insecure. I don't feel like I feel strong enough to be in the world. I'm anxious. I was very anxious. And so once I got to the root cause of that and realized that, I'm just as able as anyone else on the planet. There isn't anything wrong. I'm an adult. I can take care of myself. I'm parenting myself. And that's what we learn when we go back and look at these limiting beliefs, that we can reparent, we can parent and reparent ourselves and give ourselves the things that we need. We tell ourselves the things that we wish we had heard when we were children. The mind doesn't care that you're now 20 years older or 50 years old. Mind doesn't care. It's helpful and useful and beneficial. So I invite you to join me in the lab, the Eliminate Anxiety Lab. Come join me, sign up. You can have a free strategy session. Just take a look below for the link. There's a link to book a call with me. Please go to lydiahillhypnotherapy.directory to take a look at I have a lot of testimonials on sleep, and I have a lot of testimonials about that refer to anxiety. I have a Facebook group that I would love for you to join. It's called Eradicate Self-Doubt and Anxiety. So please join me there, because I give lots of tips for how to reduce anxiety. But really, what you need to do is jump into the lab, do some work to really get to the root cause, be that gardener, pull out the roots, plant some new seeds, and enjoy a blooming life, a beautiful blooming life, right? After you plant those healthy seeds and live with those positive thoughts. But what I said at the very beginning is what you appreciate in your life appreciates it. It gains interest and it grows, right? Like money appreciates in the bank. So I appreciate watching Netflix, and that good feeling of watching Netflix, that good feeling grows. It's not that Netflix grows, but that good feeling that I get when I consciously appreciate watching Netflix, when I appreciate the heat I have in my house, when I appreciate that I have a car that gets me places, when I appreciate that I have a full tank of gas. All of those things I'm grateful for. And that gives me a good feeling when I bring my attention to the fact that I've got gas in my car. This is a simple example, but it gives me a good feeling. And that generates a good feeling that helps me to find more things to be grateful for. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the audience. Please subscribe and please comment below. I'd love to hear from you. One more thing. I want to really bring my authentic self to this YouTube channel. I'm not going to talk really fast. I'm not going to talk in a really loud voice. And I'm not going to be flamboyant like a lot of these people are. I'm not going to do silly stuff to draw you in. I just need to be me, because it's the only person I can really be. So thank you so much for finding me here. Thanks for doing the research, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you here, and I'll see you next time on the next video.